Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, still experimenting with the 6000 dummy. This is the B unit off the 6000. I installed that micro motor in it. So far, so good. It's actually running quite well, surprisingly well. Now, I've gotten a couple of comments about this rod sticking up. This is all just temporary. This is just to keep the motor centered, and it allows me to take some measurements of exactly how I'm going to mount this motor. Now, the standard motor is not mounted this way. It is actually in a cutout in the bottom of the frame. And yes, it has a screw that goes down to hold it. But there's also a very large flange on the inside of the original motor to keep it centered and mounted in this shell. In this case, basically all this bolt is doing is lining up the motor and keeping the shell centered over that motor. But as you see, it looks nice, and like I said, it's not a hack job. So when I'm finished with it, I'll just cut this off flush and very likely put a cap screw there. Or I'll put a standard screw down and just have it go down into the thumb nut that's on the motor. But in the meantime, this gives me a lot of leverage, and it gives me a lot of opportunity to move this motor around. Right now I can just loosen this nut, turn the motor around, and the engine will run backwards. It only takes a second to do that. In the meantime, it's been sitting all night. So today I thought I would just do some tests on how much it can pull. So I've got 4 Lionel 13-inch passenger cars. Now these weigh half a pound each. So there's 2 pounds behind this 6000 dummy. So I'm just going to take this around a couple times to see how it runs. And basically I'm going to run this either till it works or it stops. There's no point in completing this if this motor can't survive pulling what I want it to pull. I mean, it's just as easy to turn it back into a dummy again. But the whole idea of doing this, of course, is the fact that you took a dummy engine and modified it, mounted a motor in it yourself, which has never been done before. I've never seen any 6000 dummy that's been converted to power. And I've looked. Anyway, this is all just a series of tests, and then when I finalize it, I will reconfigure this mounting point. But for now, it's good enough, it's easy to work with, and it was just stuff I had off my bench. So running on the second rail, let's take this around and see how we do. So the Marx 6000B with its new motor pulling 4 13-inch passenger cars. That's at 30% power. So it actually runs better than the factory unit. It's quiet, it's smooth, it runs nice and steady. It's pulling an incredible amount of weight for that small motor. So I will very likely be adding one more car to see if it can pull 5 of them. And just to see what this motor is capable of. Like I said, there's no point in doing this if this motor is going to fail. So I'm going to test it at least for a couple of days before I finalize the design and actually mount it in there. But it's been a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun the last day and a half running this dummy unit with this new motor in it. And as you can see, it runs absolutely superbly. It runs absolutely perfectly. In fact, like I said, it runs better than the factory 6000 does. Now, I should be able to combine these, and since they're now both powered, it would be interesting to see what they could actually pull. But as you can see, it's having no trouble at all pulling 4 of these cars. And like I said, these weigh half a pound each. So I just wanted to do a video to document this. It's been a lot of fun doing this. That's one neat thing about building something out of nothing is you get a great deal of satisfaction when it actually works, and it becomes one of your favorite engines. Now, I didn't run the 6000 all that much, but guarantee you I'll be running this one simply because I built it myself. And it's a lot of fun to do these experiments, see what you can do with what you have, see what you can make out of stuff you have. I mean, this was stuff that was in the junk box. The motor, the bolt, the thumb screw, and just a quick experiment to see if I could actually power the 6000 dummy. And so far, so good. So I will be adding a 5th car, and we'll see if it can pull that. And I don't want to overdose this. I don't want to burn this motor up. I just wanted to be able to pull a considerable consist, which it's doing, and it's doing it admirably well. So I just want to do a quick video to document this. Still a lot of things to figure out. I still got to put a headlight in it. It does have a red lens, so I might just go ahead and leave the red lens in there and just mount a light bulb behind it. But in the meantime, just doing some testing to see what it's capable of before I continue finalizing how I'm actually going to mount that motor in there. And then when I do, of course, I will do a quick video. And once you know how to do this, it's a 10-minute job. Literally, it's a 10-minute job. You pull the dummy trucks out, you drill the hole in the top, you position your motor, get everything lined up, epoxied in place, have the correct length screw, put it all together, let it set until the epoxy cures, and you have a powered 6000. So just want to do a quick video on this. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop an email. BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.